Hello, it is Thursday. It is the 19th of July 2012. Very quick look at silver chart as well as the dollar index. Short-term silver, long-term dollar index. But before we do that, I was watching Realist News, JSNP4 this morning, and he mentioned that Romney has pulled into a dead heat with Obama. So I figured let's do a Google search for dead heat Obama-Romney. And this is what came up as the top two results via the search. First one, Romney pulls to dead heat with Obama in Virginia in new poll. This was by CBS News 15 hours ago. But apparently on April the 18th of 2012, or 3 months ago, Obama and Romney in dead heat. Yet he just pulled to it. Now, I haven't read either one of these articles, but it really does make you wonder about the system in place. And quite frankly, I can remember, I think it was on Zeitgeist Addendum, I'm not too sure, I'm sure quite a few different people have talked about how in political, or trying to get candidacy, that is, it's very common for them to really downplay their opponents rather than giving viable solutions. And if, of course, they do say viable solutions, a lot of it is just talk. On the video youtube.com, and it's called Unpatriotic Debt, there is about a minute and a half video or so, and this is all this is the Republican National Committee talking about just bumping down President Obama. And his national debt that they stated was the most by any president, which is $5 trillion. Now, they are looking at this on a linear term and not a logarithmic, although they did say percentage moves in here, and it would be about 33% or so. But what's interesting is, okay, so there's a problem. That's good. That's good. The debt is a serious problem. Yet, Mitt Romney supports the Federal Reserve, which is guaranteed automatically to increase debt within these proportions. So it's kind of counterintuitive, or I don't know. But this just goes to show you that the status quo, as far as I see it or has been told before about just bashing your opponents, is coming into play. Okay, let's take a look at these markets now. Let's start off within the silver, and it's going to be very, very quick because there's not really too much to go over. The 18 average is pretty much flattening out right now. It's been we're on day number 6 or 7, and really ever since in here, it's just trading sideways, really, from a range of about 27, although it's hit 26.90 twice, up to about 27 and a half. That's the sideways consolidation. All the things I've been stating about what's needed for this thing to break out has to come into play, meaning it's got to get above this 18 average and either have a big break above it or come back, find support, and lift higher. And on the breakdown, look for the clear breakdowns below this band and then see if there's any further momentum to the downside. As here, when it broke down, there wasn't much downside momentum, and it's just pretty much a mess for the most part. But it's been a long time in this intermediate term bear market, which started pretty much near the beginning of the year, and as we're now entering the second half of the year, it's still within the intermediate term bear market. Now, as far as the dollar index is concerned, this is a 100-day chart. So let me clarify what a 100-day chart means. It means every single one of these candles or periods represents 100 days worth of data. And there's also 100 different one of these points within it. So 100 multiply 100 is 10,000. So this represents the last 10,000 traded days, which brings it very close to the start of the actual index itself. This is in a downtrend. Why? Because this 18 average is declining, and it really hasn't been above the 18 average of close, and it hasn't closed above it since back in here. Furthermore, within this band, it is correcting within it. So within the negative bias, it's neutral / negative. And for the same thing for it to break it, it needs to have a big pop or break above it and come back and do something to reverse the trend down towards the downside. But 80 is the big level that I've been focusing on, which is pretty much in here, which is an area that was a pierce above, it was support within here, support again, and now it's been chopping up above and below it, which is pretty much weak. But what I really want to talk about is, let's draw a straight line from where we are right now. Is it safe to say that right in here, at this time around 1979 or so, that the dollar is just as strong back then as it is today? And if it's not really weaker, not really stronger, well then theoretically, prices of goods that have had little effect within the supply and demand mechanism should be about the same, and everything else which should be either a little bit less or a little bit more, and the average product would cost the same because the dollar index is the same. Same thing, of course, back here, here, every time we've been at 83. But of course, that's all false, because this is a measure of a fiat currency against other fiat currencies, and the system is designed to keep this economic model alive, to keep on adding more legal tenders into the system because no one else can create them. You throw in all the interest that is charged through so many different kinds of loans, thus debt is guaranteed that they have to keep on re-stimulating. So therefore, question is it really unpatriotic to run up the national debt when it keeps the status quo alive? Take care.